Hey guys, this is a special review I'm making about two of my own made Kingdom Hearts cosplay props, namely a Keyblade I made a few years ago. Some of you may have already seen it on conventions, and one I just finished a few days ago. And yeah, I want to show you what they look like, what I used for materials, and well, here they are. Now everyone who's watching probably already recognized the original key, the Kingdom key that Sora uses. Uh, and most of you cosplayers who go to conventions in Holland already see me carrying this. I had quite some positive comments on this because everyone who dresses up as Sora uses, no offense you guys, but you use very little metal keyblades, some half as small as this one, but I wanted to make one original size, original colors, but that it still shows that it's my own design. Now this is the keyblade that I just finished a few days ago. It took quite a bit longer to make than this one because the Kingdom key already was a existing design. We based this one off of previous photos, screenshots we saw from in-game footage. So this one was a bit easier to make, but this one we entirely based off of a sketch that someone made on sketchfoo.com. I think the person's nickname was MacWarrior07. Link in the description below if you want to see it. I really want to thank him for coming up with the design, with the original design, because when I first saw it I immediately fell in love with it, and I love the color, I love the hints to the movie of Tron Legacy, as some of you may have already seen. Is where this Keyblade is based off of. Now I started making this before the news was announced that Tron Legacy was going to be a playable world in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, and I was really psyched that they were going to use that as a playable world. But when I saw the design for Sora's Keyblade in that world, I thought that could be a bit more original, because it's basically just the Kingdom key, totally black with the white outlines like any other weapon in Tron Legacy. I mean, it looks pretty good in the game, but this one is a bit more original with more hints, which I'm going to show in just a few seconds. First off, I want to review the Kingdom key. So I'm going to turn the camera off for just a few seconds to get this one off the table so I can show this one fully. So see you in the flash. And we're back. Now, as you guys can see, I tried to stay as close to the original Kingdom key as possible. Now, some of you guys may notice that this little end right here doesn't have any rings, or it isn't round shaped, but we tried to make it round-ish, if that's a word in any case. Now, for the blue part, we use a piece of special reflective kind of tape. Same thing with the handle. We used special sports tape that they use on tennis and badminton rackets, so it doesn't slip when you hold it. Now the paint on the handle is just basic yellow, not gold like in the original, because we thought, yeah, yellow is just a bit better for this design. For the rest of the blade we use a special kind of silver paint that shows off a bit more of a metallic look. The design of the crown I made of myself. It was a little sketch I made on a piece of cardboard. We draw that over on a bit of thick plywood. And to attach it to the beam right here, we chopped it in a little bit and used a bit of filler paint to fill up the holes and cracks right here. Same thing with the handle. We chopped it in here and here, so the handle would fit in quite nicely, and once it was painted, it would match as a whole. The Mickey Mouse chain is something I'm also very proud of, because it was also something we had to draw on a piece of cardboard and then draw it on the same piece of plywood as that one. But this had to be a bit thicker, so we used the other thinner piece of plywood. And we stick it together with a nail in it, we worked away the nail quite nicely, so that the keychain wouldn't fall out and it would stick into place. So yeah, this was my review of the Kingdom Key. Now I've mentioned the word we a couple of times in this, that we made this. I made this in the summer of 2009 together with my father, because without him I could have never made this on my own, because he is more of the design and constructing and putting it all together, and I'm more of drawing the basics and everything and painting the thing as a whole. So yeah, and the same thing we did with the other Keyblade, and I'm going to show it right now. And there is my newest pride and glory, once again made together with my father. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this one took a bit longer to make because we started making this one in October 2011. We already had the basic design. We already put everything together with screws and nails. But then the winter came up, and that was the reason we had a bit of a delay, because with the ice cold winter temperatures, you can't put the paint on there because it takes a bit longer to dry. We started again with constructing and painting somewhere in January, and like I said in the beginning of the video, we just finished it a few days ago. So I'm going to show you what we used to make this one. First I'm going to put the original picture on the table so you can see how close we tried to stay to the original drawing. For the centerpiece we used a thick beam of oak wood, which we thought at the beginning was going to be perfect for the design and for the paint job. The beam slowly fades over into the handle. This doesn't have sports tape on it like on the other one, but we used a special kind of reflective silver tape. Why we did that I'm going to tell you in a minute. The handle, as you guys may have already seen here and on the picture, is our special version of the identity discs that they used in the movie. This was probably something that took most of the time, because not only with constructing, because we had to look at the picture every single time to make it look like an identity disc. And yeah, I'm really pleased with the result. Now for the keychain, you guys are probably gonna like this. On the original drawing, it was a recognizer. You know, those big transport vehicles from the movie. We didn't make this one ourselves, but I found a special toy version on eBay that was the perfect size. And on the original drawing, the keychain goes in at the top. We could have done the same here, but I think it would have been a bit of waste to draw a hole in here and put the keychain in, because it's too detailed looking to just destroy it like that. So we split the keychain in two and put them in these holes right here. We used special black tie wraps, those plastic rings, and we used black because that perfectly matches with the vehicle itself, so you don't see from a distance how the keychain is attached to the recognizer. So that's how you can make a proper keychain with a toy vehicle attached to it, but still it looks pretty nice. Now over to the other side of the blade are the rings. Once again, we tried to make them just as the original picture. For this one, you guys are not going to believe this. We used a doorstop, a normal plastic doorstop. We saw it in half, and then we colored it over. And these are special wooden rings that you would attach to the ceiling or whatever, to make it look like the design of the beam would go over in a special blue ring, so it would match the design with the doorstop. Now the painting of this part, the blades, we did last, because sawing the blades out of plywood was already a bit of a tough challenge. We had to look really closely to the original and use one piece of thin plywood, and had to draw out 5 blades out of nothing, because as you can see from the side, this is all just one piece of plywood. But thanks to my paint job, I made it look like it has 5 blades that you can fold in. Now because I don't have that big of a budget, I think it would be much cooler looking to make it seem like there are 5 blades on there. Now to make this as proper looking as possible, both on the cracks here as well as those on the disc, the magic words here are filler paint. We used so incredibly much filler paint to work out all the flaws and the defaults on here, because if you guys thought the doorstop was weird, just wait till you hear what we used to make this. We made the identity discs out of 2 plastic trays where you put house plants on them. I'm not kidding. We screwed them together and used filler paints to make the sides as identical and smooth as possible to give that effect of a proper disc. So now I'm going to tell you why we used reflective tape on here. Once again, we tried to make this one exactly as the drawing, so that would mean that that the hints or the Easter eggs from the movie would also have to be in this one. And there are quite a few hints of the movie on here. Now let me go over them again. The keychain is a recognizer. The handle is an identity disc. This piece right here, I think on the drawing, is transparent,
because it represents
the special light cane or whatever that Castor, you know, the guy who owns the End of Line Club, holds in his hands, you know, the big cane.
Now, once again, for budget reasons,
we thought it would be just as great to let the wind beam go over into the handle and use special silver reflective tape to give the idea, maybe not as much as the drawing, but
that it represents Castor's light cane.
Now the number 3 on one of the blades, I've read on one of the signs where the picture was put up on, represents the number Sam Flynn has in the arena. That he was supposed to be number 3 in line or something. But yeah, I have to give MacWarrior07 credits for that, to put as many hints to the movie as possible into this blade. And I hope he's proud as well that that someone took the time and liberty to take his creation and make it real life. And once again, I want to thank my father from the bottom of my heart to help me to recreate, build and design this, because without him this would never look as well as it does now. Well guys, thank you for watching my special Keyblade cosplay prop review. Now, as most of you guys know, AnimeCon is coming up in just a few days. I hope you guys are really excited. I know I am. There's just one thing. I'm not going to be dressed as Sora. I am going to give one hint. Well, you guys know enough. But I am going to be dressed as Sora and take both of these Keyblades with me to the upcoming edition of Abunai, so be sure to check me out there. And of course Nishikon, that's coming up in November. That's going to be 2 days. One of them is going to be and I think the second day, well, that depends which day they have the fashion show. I want to dress up as Sora and take both the blades with me, see if I can throw a shot at the first, second or third place in the competition. So yeah, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and you will see both these blades soon enough. Talk to you later.